Trocadero Art Space is run by a voluntary committee of management. There's 4 core members who have the official titles of like a president, a vice president, a treasurer, and a secretary, much the same as, you know, your local cricket club or something like that. But then there's a fluctuating kind of group of volunteers as well that also contribute to running the space.
Five Walls was started in 2012, and it really came about because of my involvement with Trocadero Art Space, which is housed in the same building here. From working with Trocadero, I thought there might be an opportunity to start another artist-run space inside the building, and that's basically how it started.
Blindside's managed by a board of directors, so there's around 8 of us, and we are each assigned a specific role to take on different tasks that the gallery requires. And we also have a gallery manager who works 2 days a week, and an associate program, so a range of volunteers that are also assigned roles, and we find it works really well.
So Kings is run by a committee. I'm the current chair of the committee, and we are 9 currently, and there's Kings and also Dot Space. We all work together.
What's your objective with this?
For Kings, we try to really create lots of different opportunities for artists, mainly through our program. We have exhibitions and the Flash Nut program, which are events, and we also host smaller organisations like the Melbourne Video Society.
There's myself and Ash Kerr, who's my partner, and there's also on our advisory committee we've got Amy Marjoram, and she's the editor of Excerpt magazine and an artist as well. And we've got Andrew Gaynor, he's an arts writer and curator, and we've got Louis Porter, who's a researcher and an artist.
The objectives of Trocadero have changed over the years. It's been around for about 8.5 years now, and with each new group of people that come in, the identity of the organisation shifts slightly, and so do the objectives. Started off as a sole proprietary business, which I set up with my partner Kirsten. And back then it was quite, selfish in many ways. It was about trying to end a sense of isolation in your practice and gather a group of people around you. And to some extent that still is important today. But bigger than that, I suppose, it's taken on a mission to try and provide opportunities now as well for young and emerging artists to have some of their first shows.
Five Walls has probably a little bit of a different focus from a lot of artist-run spaces. Most of the artists that show at Five Walls are a little bit more mature in their career. Some are probably underrepresented. Probably don't show as often as they probably should, but this Five Walls gives them an opportunity to show.
Well, basically, we want to be able to put on just great shows, and the objective for us is putting on really interesting shows that create a dialogue, bringing together cross-generational artists, so some young artists and some old artists, and the work in the curated shows may have been work that we've seen before, but we're just bringing it into, a new dialogue, basically. As far as, we wanted to start out with the curated shows to get, our style established, and group shows are also a great way of introducing lots of different people to the gallery as well. But we also will be next year or shortly sending out our proposal applications so people can apply for the space.
Blindside's objectives are largely around supporting experimentation. So we like to ensure that the artists that we present are pushing their practices. And I guess we're trying to ensure, well, as much as possible, some cutting edge art and a new experience for the audiences that we that come to the gallery space. And we have a lot of cultural tourists from around the world where, Blindside is on their list of destinations because of the fact that we're on the Flinders Lane precinct. And I guess also just given the proximity of the Federation Square and this artistic precinct, we're very much in the hub of what's happening also Nicholas Building, being part of Nicholas Building itself, which is a creative and cultural hub in and of itself, that leverages what we can do and I guess how we can promote what we're doing.
We try to really create lots of different opportunities for artists, mainly through our program. We have exhibitions and the Flash Start program, which are events, and we also host smaller organisations like the Melbourne Video Society and Dot Space. So that's how we try to create these opportunities for artists.
I think one of the things that a committee looks for in a proposal is the fact that the people who are writing the proposal have an understanding of the space to begin with, the style of the exhibitions that have gone there before, and the type of arts that's shown, and have thought about how their work fits into that context as well. You don't want to be exclusionary by any stretch of the imagination, but you don't want to show something that's so off kilter with the kind of the types of artists that you're showing and those that you're representing. So, we're not about to have rotary art shows in the gallery. We wouldn't expect those sorts of artists to propose to us either. But having said that, we're really quite open. We're after people who are ambitious, people who, strive for, a professionalism in their practice, but also everyone starts out somewhere. So we're really open to people, having their first show with us as well.
With Five Walls, it functions in a slightly different way than other artist-run spaces. Although we have an ongoing proposal call out, most of the artists that show at Five Walls are by invitation. So I actually approach the artists and ask them if they'd like to have a show here. And in that way, it's actually, there is a projection of my vision upon the space. So it really reflects my curatorial approach towards the space.
I think probably keep it fairly simple. Show us lots of examples of the work. As far as the idea goes, of course, we want to hear the concept and see some of the work, but just keep it fairly simple, and definitely feel free to make a time to come and see us and talk to us about the work or show us work. We're really happy at any stage for people to contact us and either email us with some examples of their work to be part of curated shows to let us know about their work, because obviously, we know quite a lot of artists and we see a lot of exhibitions, but there's no way we're going to know all of the artists that there are. So we encourage artists to contact us anytime and make us aware of their work. And as far as application goes, that's generally sort of more for a solo show or a curated exhibition, and it would be just to, keep it fairly simple, but if there's any confusions, just to give us a call or an email and we can have a chat about their idea.
We're always looking for innovative concepts, I guess, essentially. Proposals that somehow have a context around Blindside itself is always interesting to us. We're also, obviously, if in terms of advice for emerging artists that are, preparing their first submission, just remember to ensure that your images are of a really high standard. Sometimes images can be out of focus and not necessarily telling a story about the artist's practice, and so it's important to consider when you're submitting your support material that you're sharing a story about your practice, whether that be through video or sound or the visual image. I guess also being succinct and concise when you're preparing your statement of intent. It's really important that there's clarity around what you're aiming to do. I guess sometimes you get proposals that they're so wordy and it's really hard to unpick and what's really actually going to be presented in the space. So I'd suggest that people keep it pretty clear and simple.
So I'd say first look on our website to look at the date where proposals are due, make sure you have enough time and contact us if you have any questions. Coming to visit the space is quite important, and also make sure you understand that we have a thematic programming, so every 6 months we do a call out under a particular theme. So you have to be aware of that, and of course not be too literal in the way you respond to the theme. And of course, as usual, be very clear in your ideas and all of that. So our programs, we have all exhibitions that are open for proposal and reviewed by the committee. And we also have the Flash Night programs, which are the one-off events. And these are free events, and they're an open program, so artists can contact us anytime during the year, proposing an idea, and the committee will review them as they come in most of the time.
And you only choose one artist, or can be group show?
No, it can be group. Also, it's really suitable for new collaborations or artists who want to try out a new idea, and also for performance, video, anything that works really well for a one-night event.